We're all live. So we're just quickly, this is not the hazy we're about to review. This is the Ballistic's Hawaiian Haze, double dry hopped, you said?
It is, yes.
Double dry hopped.
Look at that. Hawaiian Haze. DDH. Sneaky. Look at that.
So, quickly run us through about that one.
Yeah, so the Hawaiian Haze started off life as a limited run deal made in 2019 and just went absolutely bonkers for out and trade, went nuts, and we couldn't keep up production for it. We had question after question about it, and so had to go back into production, and then for the next little while it was a struggle to keep it on shelves for people because it just kept flying off, and we had to keep just making more of it. So yeah, a really good response to the movement towards the hazy sort of style of beers, and with the slightly lighter ABV, you can actually have a few of them without sort of knocking your socks off and enjoy yourself without getting too silly.
And what position did this get in the...
This came in at number 6 in the hottest
number 6. Yeah, we did this in the top 10.
That's when we
did it. Yes.
Yeah, that's impressive numbers.
Yeah, we were absolutely stoked with that one. It's
really pineapple, like really.
So that's
really
the hottest 100 beers of 2020. It came 6th.
Yeah, pretty stoked with that one. So
So with the double dry hopping, what does that literally mean?
Basically, throwing dry hops in right at the end of the fermentation period, from my understanding for it. So you're getting a lot of bitterness in there. You get a fair amount of aromatics in there as well as a result of that, because you're not sort of boiling off all of that bitterness and all the innards of the hops at that point. So yeah, it gives you a lot of flavour really quickly.
Before someone threw my remainder away, I was going to say it looks like pineapple juice.
It's very cloudy.
Literally, I put it in front of one of the guy who goes, I wanted a beer out of pineapple juice, and I went, try that. And he drank it and went, oh, it is a beer. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
It passed the Graham finger test.
Oh, definitely. Well, no, it didn't fail massively.
Sorry.
Hazy, I suppose.
Graham finger.
Yeah, it passed.
Passed like you can't see your finger if it's in the middle? Or?
No, not exactly. So this goes back to pre-hazy days when you're looking for the clearness of the beer, which is basically that you put your finger on the back, and if you can see the fingerprint through the back of the glass,
just the print.
That proves just how clear it is.
Right.
So the brewers with the centrifugal filter processing, that will
goes through the roof. Yeah,
insanely good looking beers, and that's why.
This is probably a technical question that you may not know the answer to, but when it comes to unfiltered beers, like I understand it comes out and it goes through the filter, the filtration unit. If it doesn't come out of that, like if it doesn't get filtered, how do you stop residual yeasts and stuff in the tank? So,
very good question. Slightly beyond my pay grade, I would imagine. To be honest, I'm not really sure. I know you're generally pulling it, the way you're pulling your beers out of the tank means that you are sort of minimising that anyway. All of that collects at the bottom. That's down to the shape of the fermentation tons and all that sort of thing.
So finings is one thing. So in home brewing terms, you do a cold crash. This is basically you drop the temperature down to just above freezing. I drop my fridge down to say 4 degrees. And just by being cold, that puts the yeast to sleep. If you have a conical as well, it all drops down below the outlet tap, and then that keeps it out. Finings, traditionally they use the gallbladder of the isinglass fish, which is a deep sea fish, and it's literally an ionic reaction, so those are sprinkled in the beer. So cask beer in an English pub, that's what you would do. The cask gets delivered, so it comes in a truck, it's all shaken up, you put it in there, you sprinkle some finings into a cask, because it's not a pressure vessel like a keg. You sprinkle some finings in, and then you leave it for 3 days, and those finings do their job, and it filters, but effectively drops it. But you're not removing the yeast, because the yeast is part of the flavour. What you're doing is effectively clarifying the beer from a visual perspective.
Okay, right.
That's why, the pasteurised beers or heavily filtered beers can actually be a bit dead, because it's actually been fully removed, not just visually.
Well, we're going to go on to the next bit after that, so just 1 second.